Welcome everyone to another installment of the Lost Controller. I'm Mike.
And I'm John.
And John is here with us. Adam is not going to be here for a little while.
Loser.
I don't know what he's doing. He's got a lot of things preoccupied right now, but we're still going to move forward. I know it's been almost 2 months now since we've talked, or maybe a little bit over. A lot going on, a lot of vacations, a lot of weddings for my parts. So I apologize for that, but we're back, and to kind of refocus a little bit, we won't touch on it for too long, but kind of talk about, the aftermath. The smoke is now cleared, and now we finally see that the two consoles that'll be coming out in the next holiday season, November, December, and now we can both kind of reflect. And I don't want to say exactly what I will be buying, or have John say what he's gonna buy, but I think we can both just see how we feel, and see what each console has to offer compared to each other. John, I know you're a big Xbox fanboy, if I may.
Yes, I am.
You had the original Xbox. You have to say it that way now.
With the behemoth controllers.
Yes. Oh my god. That is so true. I forgot how freaking huge those things were. Oh my god. All the hours playing Halo and Halo 2 online, I swear to god.
Yeah, Halo was definitely my game too.
Right. Team Snipers all the way.
Oh, yes.
Yep. But seeing the Xbox One, now that they've backed off, retract a little bit after the outbreak from a lot of gamers.
A lot of negative reviews.
Yeah. Do you think, did you kind of see this coming? Do you kind of expect this? Do you think it's a good thing that they did?
I'm not surprised that they did.
Yeah.
I didn't particularly see such a drastic change and such a drastic turnaround on it.
Yeah.
But, it was a smart play on Microsoft's part. I feel they would have lost a lot of sales if they hadn't made that change. So
yeah, I agree.
But,
yeah.
I hate to say it, as much of a fanboy as I am with Xbox, I'm leaning more towards PS4 when that comes out. It seems to have a lot more to offer. Definitely cheaper online gameplay. And, it's more of a gaming machine than it is a encompassed entertainment system, which is what Microsoft is trying to go for.
Yeah, it seems as Microsoft trying to get... I don't know if they're thinking that this is going to grab more... a wider target market net compared to just doing the gamers,
Yeah.
a smaller. It's a lot of gamers though. I've got to admit, but maybe that's why they did initially. But with I think the whole thing behind used games and always online and not really be able to share with your friends, or you know what I mean? You'd have to take your whole entire console instead of just a disc or something like that.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of ridiculous. That kind of takes away from being able to game with other people.
Yeah. We'll see. Now they backed off, and now okay. There's some thunder.
Watch out for Dorothy.
Hopefully we won't get disconnected during this podcast.
Yeah, that would be pretty fun.
Right? Shut up, John. You're there. I know you're there. Don't even. Skype goes down. I would see Skype go down before you stop talking.
Right.
That's for sure. But I think it's good. They have to go back down to, what the customer wants, not forward thinking anymore, and go, okay, these are the people that are buying our stuff. Whether we like it or not, we have to, kind of secede to them a little bit and making sure they want to buy our shit still. Now, the only difference right now for me is we really haven't got a chance to see the hardware and how pretty that looks.
Right.
You can look at videos, but it's only going to give you so much look and insight. And then also thinking about the only difference is the $100 price, which is basically the Xbox One. You're getting the Kinect. That's what it is.
Yeah, and I can see why they priced it the way they did. You know, everybody's kind of like, oh, PlayStation's $100 cheaper. Well, you get a little bit more with the Xbox One. So
yeah,
hence,
but granted, you know, what's that Kinect really going to be for? You know, are developers going to use it for games, or is it just going to be for TV? You know, when you're swiping your hand and moving your fingers and doing voice commands and all that stuff. You know, what is it for? Is it more? So we have to wait and see what that $100 investment really is going to be about. And then I think, you know, the controllers, even, you know, depending upon a lot of people, it doesn't really matter. Both controllers, the current gens, I like. I think the only difference I like is the PS3's D-pad a little bit better, but that's here or there.
Right.
And then I think the online gaming membership, what's the difference going to be there? So I'm still waiting to see all the details. I'm personally going to wait till next summer to get it. I feel that more games are going to be out, so
yeah.
I feel that that'll be a good, you know.
Yeah, and you and I were just discussing earlier that there's no real title releases when these new consoles come out the end of this year.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think PS4 is going to be Drive Club, and I really can't remember. It's nothing that I'm like excited for.
Right.
I know Xbox One is going to be Rise, which is interesting.
No, that's supposed to come out the end of this year.
Yeah, which is when the next gen consoles are coming out. So, I mean, like I said, let's wait to see. I'm going to be a little bit patient and hesitant and make sure what I'm buying is exactly what I want as a gamer and as a consumer. So, but I guess, you know, kind of moving forward a little bit, we have some articles here that I want to touch base on. Not a lot of big news, but a lot of interesting stuff I think that we can all kind of talk and think about. John, you played Mass Effect, correct?
Briefly, the first one.
You just played the first one, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm into that kind of gameplay. I don't own the game personally, so I don't really have the opportunity to play it unless I got it through GameFly. But
gotcha.
And that is not a plug.
It sounds like a plug to me.
But I do like that kind of your actions affect how the game's going to play.
Mm-hmm.
Gives it
it's
more,
your story.
Yeah, it gives it more dynamic to it, which is very important when it comes to gaming for me. I don't like the whole stick to one storyline and you have to do what the game tells you to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is probably why I've gone so much more into RPGs lately rather than first-person shooters, but you also see a lot of games coming out too that are starting to kind of fuse the two together. Borderlands, for example.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think when you go out and you spend your $60 or whatever have you, you're like, it's hard to spend $60 for a Mortal Kombat game when you can pay $60 for Mass Effect 3 that came out. You know, it's like I'm going to get so much more in a game than just a handful of characters and the same repetition type of battle all the time. But I mean, that's something we already talked about with fighting games. But when it comes to Mass Effect in particular, you know, Mass Effect 3 had that, I don't know if you know, John, but it had a controversial ending into how the game ended. And I'll just poke at it a little bit just so you're informed. You were just talking about how it's important that you like a game that you can decide how, you know, the next step goes, kind of. You know, you can kind of mold the story into what actions you've made. Well, I guess at the end of Mass Effect 3, that was the big thing, was it didn't really give you that option at the very, very end. And you don't really know what happens to your main character, Shepard. And things are kind of left up in the air and a lot of questions. And so when something like that happens at the end of a trilogy, you're just left empty. And so, I mean, Mass Effect 3 is a great game. Do not get me wrong. The gameplay's amazing. The story's great. And then the very end, it's like, you had me, and then you just...
yeah, that'd be a buzzkill for anybody.
I mean, it kind of was. But there is talk of another Mass Effect game in the same, I guess, universe. I do know that, according to this article, that it will not feature Commander Shepard from the last 3 games. So I don't know if this is gonna be another story within the same universe or reinvention or anything like that. I'm excited because I played all three. John, I think you should be too.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a game that I would like to pick up and start playing. Just there's been other titles that have been coming out that's kind of grabbed my attention a little more.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's fair. I think it's fair. But kind of moving on to another newer games coming on is Far Cry 4 is coming soon. It's announced. I don't know if you played Far Cry 3.
I have not. I do have the game, but I have not played it yet.
I've only played 3. I didn't play the first 2 because I heard the first 2 weren't all that great. I guess kind of linear, and then 3 was this big open environment, which is I think a lot of games are kind of moving towards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean it was basically the same kind of play style as the Elder Scrolls games, where you just build up your character and your play style.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, that's what a lot of people were saying when 3 came out, it was Skyrim with guns.
Yeah.
And it's a great game. If you haven't played it, go play it, borrow it, buy it used, GameFly it, whatever. Do what John does.
I mean, we're not constantly saying GameFly here because we want them to sponsor us or anything, but, GameFly is a pretty sweet...
John, don't worry. No one's listening to this anyway, so don't even worry about it.
Damn it.
Yeah, no. You had your hopes up. I brought you in here. You really thought things were going well, and I'm sorry to tell you that it's kind of go downhill. Anyways.
Sponsor us, please.
Yeah, right. Now, I know 4 is going to probably be another big sale because, last year Far Cry 3 came out and they sold over 6 million copies. So that says something that they're doing pretty good. So this franchise is going to be well and kick in. And another story about this whole Far Cry thing is going to be, I think, great. I can't wait for it. It's a type of first-person shooter that I like. Good story. Better than the first 2, so maybe they're going the right way. Maybe they got new writers. I don't know. But, John, you want to talk about probably your favorite first-person shooter right now?
My favorite first-person shooter?
The story and everything? New information about that?
Which one are you talking about?
The one that I like.
Halo?
Oh, well, okay.
I was going to say, okay. I have a handful of first-person shooter games that I really enjoy playing.
Okay.
So you have to be a little more specific.
Well, when it comes to the articles that we have, the new news stuff that's coming out,
okay, with
DLC
Borderlands
type,
2. Okay.
Yes, there you go. Yeah. Now, you heard about this?
Yeah, the new DLC that they're going to be bringing out end of October. I think October 31st.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or at least that's the projected release date.
Okay. Yeah.
I actually just got the game a few months ago, so I don't have time to sit on my butt every day, but I am looking forward to it. It seems like it's going to bring more to the main storyline, which won't make it so mundane playing it over and over again. They talk about incorporating a new storyline with bringing back TK Baha, which, I mean, he was everybody's favorite character from the first game.
Yeah.
Which I actually think Borderlands 2, at some point in the storyline, they do kind of bring, like, his sister or something like that into it. Or his wife. I forget. But yeah, they're going to be raising the level cap by 11, so instead of 61, it'll be 72. It looks like they're also going to be adding an ability to join up with Professor Tannis, the crazy lady.
Yeah.
And actually be able to train new Crimson Raiders. So that,
really?
Yeah, that kind of seems interesting. I'll be
wow,
pretty interesting to see how that plays out.
That all sounds great. I mean, I've always been before I started playing Borders 2. I've always been not really a fan of DLCs, to be honest. I feel like there was an incident with Capcom, and I think it was a Street Fighter 4 or something, came out, or I can't remember what it was. It might have been the what was the Marvel vs. Capcom, maybe the new one.
Yeah.
Anyways, on the disc there was a good amount of stuff that was locked on the disc. That was only you had to pay like a DLC to have it unlock on your disc, so you could play the rest of the game. Like it was cool. Like this. Yeah, that's bullshit. Yeah, to like hold back, and then if you give us a little bit more money, like $10-15, we'll give you this DLC. When in reality, it's stuff we've already fucking developed. It's not like stuff it's not like new things we're trying to work on, add to the game that you already paid for. It's like they're holding back on you. So I've always been just very hesitant on getting anything that's DLC related. But after playing Borderlands 2 and playing a few of the DLCs, it is just amazing. So anything Borderlands DLC, I will get by whatever. It's fucking phenomenal. Those people are doing a great job.
Oh yeah.
And I can't wait for... I mean, before I'm sitting here going, okay, Borderlands 3, come on. But then more DLCs, I'm like, you know what? I can do that. I can be down with that.
Yeah, and that's probably Gearbox's plan too, is just kind of keep throwing out breadcrumbs, biscuits here and there to keep us,
right,
enjoying the game, and as they're developing a possible Borderlands 3 title. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, fingers crossed. Granted, we're also still hoping for a Half-Life 3.
Yeah, right.
So,
right. Yeah.
I'm not going to really hold my breath, but we'll see what Gearbox has in mind.
Yeah, I don't think they'll let us down. I mean, they haven't yet. I've only ran into one DLC that I wasn't fond of, but it still was a pretty good DLC. Compared to everything else, it was the worst one, but if that was the only one, I still would have been happy.
Which
it
one's
wasn't
that?
One of those. The Hammerlock. I don't know. There's a couple like quest things there that you have to go find certain like animals or monsters, and they never spawn, and it takes forever, and you just want to keep going,
Yeah,
so,
I didn't play too far into that, or much of the other DLCs for that matter. I haven't got my character high enough level to be able to do that.
Story's not bad, but compared to what I've already played, I mean, it's the bottom one, I think. I mean, what do you guys think? Is that your favorite one? If not, let us know. Comment, rate, subscribe, whatever. But I think I'm excited for these DLCs. At the end of the day, I think it's a good thing, and we all should be happy. I know it's not Borderlands 3, but it's new Borderlands.
Right.
That's always a good thing.
And Gearbox has certainly broken the mold with the new download characters that you can get, the Necromancer and the Psycho. Really kind of breaking that straight line on gameplay with them, where with the Necromancer, a good build requires you to not constantly reload, basically let your gun automatically reload, which is really, really frustrating because if you do accidentally reload and you're not spec'd correctly, you lose all of what's called anarchy.
Yeah, well, I mean, and the counterpoint is like when you get used to not reloading, then when you play a different character or different class, it has the reverse effect.
Yeah, like when I switch back
to reload
my Siren or something like that.
Yeah.
And then with the Psycho,
I can reload now.
And with the Psycho, I mean, usually you kind of want to stay a little out of battle, pick people off from the distance. With the Psycho, I mean, you want to run into the heat of things.
Yeah.
Pun intended on that, by the way. Where he's primarily a meleeing character, but most of your melee damage comes from being on fire as well. Like, you actually want your character to be on fire to be able to deal more damage.
Good lord.
So, I mean,
that's the next one I gotta try is the Psycho.
I definitely recommend it. I mean, I haven't gotten too high level with him, but so far I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
Oh, plus the aspect, too, that you want your shield to be down, like depleted, because you deal even more melee damage.
Oh my god. So you just don't even have a shield.
Right. Right.
Right. Well, that's crazy. Moving forward, just found some interesting news about the widely anticipated Grand Theft Auto 5. Now, currently, the game is only being released for Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. It's being released September 17th. in the U.S., and it's saying that since it's not going to be for the PC, there are a lot of people out there that are not happy about it. And so not happy that on change.org there's a petition calling for Rockstar Games to release a PC version of Grand Theft Auto 5 has now gone over 2,000 signatures. That's a lot of people. I mean, I heard a crazy petition.
Let me correct you for a second. That's actually 200,000.
When I say 2,000?
Yes.
My bad. 200,000. See, this is why you're here. I couldn't do this by myself. Reading
You're
is so hard. So I talk. I don't read things. But
and people, if you can't see us, but he's definitely talking with his hands too.
Yes, the whole time. Yeah. Anywho, that's a lot of people. 200,000 people. That's a lot of money. You know what I mean? That's a lot of money potential right there that you're just leaving out there.
Rockstar would probably be stupid not to release it on PC.
Maybe they didn't announce it correctly. Maybe they're still working on the kinks of the online capability for the PC. I don't know.
Well, like you said, there's a lot of earning potential there.
Oh yeah. I mean, I know the previous game was released for PC as well as Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. I mean, this petition you gotta look at if you're Rockstar.
Right.
Now I know petitions I know there was one for there's a petition to Microsoft. I don't know. It was some dude that set it up. It had 20,000 signatures. I'm saying that correctly this time. 20,000 signatures around there that actually wanted the Xbox One to go back to the original one that was announced. With all the online, always, no physical use games. Yeah, I know. So I just wanted to make a point that there are petitions that should just be overlooked. But this one, I think...
And with that new information, if you were one of those people listening to that sign that petition, listening to this podcast now, do me a favor, hold out your hand, and make sure your palm is facing towards you, and as hard as you can, slap yourself in the forehead right now.
Oh, I did it so hard. I had a handprint for 2 days after I read that news. I was just you've got to be kidding me.
Wow.
I think they shouldn't. Yeah, they should not be allowed to ever play video games ever again.
Yep.
Should be a ban.
Xbox, ban their consoles now.
Yeah, right. Ban all the consoles. Have you? Speaking of, well, I guess not really a console, but new things coming out. The Oculus Rift. Have you heard about the Oculus Rift yet?
Yeah. I looked up on that when they were kind of testing it with Team Fortress 2.
Oh yeah. I forgot they were doing that.
Yeah.
The only one I saw was the guillotine, the Oculus Rift guillotine, where it you get your head cut off.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting. Adam and I talked about it about a month ago. It's pretty interesting. Anywho, the news on the Oculus Rift here relates to Titanfall, which is going to be a Xbox One or Microsoft exclusive, that matter. I don't know if they're going to come out with PC or a 360 version, but that it could be capable, that Titanfall, to be able to support the virtual reality headset of the Oculus Rift. Now, I personally have not put the Rift on. I've heard interesting things about it. You can really get into it and not notice that you are just wearing a head thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know right now it's available. I mean, the article is saying the headset's currently available at $300 for developers, but there is no public release date or price yet. So I guess you have to be a developer to get your hands on this. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like something that still needs to go through a lot of development.
Yeah, I mean, this news, developers saying that it's awesome. It's really neat to play with. There's nothing official yet, but you never know.
Right.
So it's something they're looking into, and not only for, I guess, for Titanfall, but I guess for, like you said, other online first-person shooter games like Team Fortress. But I mean, I think that'd be interesting. I personally don't know if I would ever need to get one. But this might be a peek into the future. You know, going back to this headset of virtual reality. What do you think about that? You think that's the next wave?
I mean, every gamer has dreamed of virtual reality capability with their favorite first-person shooters and things like that. And for some reason, I keep going back and thinking of Virtual Boy. For anybody who remembers that, anytime I think of the Oculus.
Horrible.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, I really hope there's a lot more potential with the Oculus Rift. Mm-hmm. And that it's not just like another one of those, they build up your hype, and then you go and try it, and it's just like, well, this is kind of a letdown.
A big letdown. Yeah.
I mean, at least the Oculus Rift would have a lot more colors than just black and red, but...
Right. That's true. I mean, the technology is a little bit better now, but again, like you said, if you're a little bit more hesitant into spending that much money, or even a little bit less than that, on something that might make you dizzy and throw up, or all of a sudden run around your house and kick your cat and you didn't know, or knock over your mom's favorite vase or something. I don't know, but or no, you knock over grandma. She's in the urn for a few years, and just not good. But plenty of things could go wrong there. But I've never experienced the Rift, and if any of you have or know someone, let me know, because I'm curious.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely like to get my hands on one just to try it out and see what it's all about.
Yeah. A couple things. I know this is gonna be a short podcast, but we're gonna. I think I'm gonna start a new thing, John. And maybe if you want to join it too, the next time, of maybe doing like a off game plug, maybe a game that. An indie game, or not a AAA game, like Call of Duty or Halo or anything like that everybody knows. Maybe a game that no one's heard of, that's coming out or is already out, or that you've seen, played, heard, seen a trailer, whatever. I still want to, I'm not sure what we're going to call it, but I guess check it out. I'll give you my check it out, okay, John?
Yeah, okay.
And if you haven't checked it out, you should check it out. Maybe I don't want to call it that. There's a game going to be coming out. I'm not sure when it's released. Actually, it's set to release on the PC, PS3, Xbox 360 in early 2014. So who knows if it'll be ready for next gen by then, but from what it sounds like, it won't be. The game is called Murdered Soul Suspect. And this game, there's a video, a trailer, like a walkthrough trailer, like 25 minutes long, about the beginning of this game. It's a dead detective, Ronan O'Connor, that he is dead, and you play this dead soul or dead character in the game, and what you try to do is you try to solve your own murder and find out who murdered you, what's happening, what's going on. And there's certain things that you can do because you're like this ghost entity, and then there's certain things you can't do because you're a ghost entity. So it's like a CSI. I don't know. I'd say check it out. It looks really interesting. It's something I've never really seen. It's very innovative, and that's something that I've always been a big fan of something you don't see every day, but looks fun at the same time. The game looks pretty good too. I'm trying to see who the developer is and the publisher. Give me a second.
While you're doing that, it definitely sounds like an interesting game, different aspect of things. Mm-hmm. One thing that kind of popped in my mind was, I mean, if you're the soul of this dead detective, wouldn't you already know who your murderer was? Wouldn't you have seen the person? Maybe not. Maybe not.
I mean, not necessarily. In this case, when you see the video, I don't want to give anything away, but when you see the video, you don't really know what, or I mean, you know how it happened, but you don't know like who the murderer is, and then it gets to be more open than just that. Oh, come on, there's just nothing here. Oh, Square Enix. Okay. Square Enix is making this game, and Airtight Games is another developer off of it.
Okay.
So yeah, like I said, check it out. Look it up on YouTube. It's everywhere. I might put up the video on the blog, on the Dick Boys Lost Controller page, so you guys can check that out and see if you like it. See if I'm full of shit, and see if I have good taste. All right, John. This is gonna be your baby. Okay.
All right.
I want you to go ahead and give us. Now, granted, it's very hard to find this kind of information. I've been looking at a lot of different places, and this is the only one that gives me real numbers. Now, the numbers aren't always current, but what I'm referencing to is the weekly sales numbers chart per units for the video games that have been coming out recently. And John, give me number 5. What's number 5?
All right, number 5. We are looking at Major League Baseball 13, the show. It's out for PS3, and it's developed by Sony.
Okay.
Looks like we are sitting at a weekly sales of 13,000.
Okay. Well, don't do the weekly sales.
All right, fine.
Well, I mean, because the only thing is like the week ending is the only one I could get. It only goes up to like 3 weeks ago. So I mean, just go ahead and go through the totals, and that way we can get an idea of like how it's been doing, and what week number it's in.
Okay, well, it's in week number 18 at number 5, and it looks like it's sold close to 400,000 copies.
Okay, so nothing major.
Yeah,
nothing major. Okay,
pun intended.
Now, this chart is only for USA. It's the only one we're doing because that's where we live and that's where we play games and that's where we're relevant. Global, we probably would have too many like weird Japanese games we've never heard of.
Right.
Because Japan loves their games, and I mean Europe loves their games too. Don't get me wrong, but I think more of a USA vibe would be good. All right, John, give me number 4.
Number 4, everybody's favorite, Call of Duty Black Ops 2. It is sitting at number 4 for 34 weeks with over 7 million copies sold in the U.S.
Wow.
Yeah. That's probably the highest I've seen. Not to go out of order here, but number 10, Connected Ventures, that's like 12 million copies.
Yeah.
But it's irrelevant.
Got a little bit of surprise, I think, at number 3. What is number 3?
This one I was actually pretty shocked about. It is very popular. Everybody's always got videos up on YouTube of them doing things in this game.
For PC?
Yeah, mainly for PC.
It's been out for PC for a while.
There have been a few on Xbox, which it released on maybe about a year ago. And they just came out with a new patch for it and everything to kind of make it a little more like the PC version. But at number 3, we have Minecraft.
Minecraft, it'll suck you in and your life will be gone.
Yes, it will. I played this game for like 3 days straight one weekend. Ended up having nightmares of being stuck in the mines and not being able to get out. It's pretty bad.
Creepers everywhere!
But yeah, it's been sitting at number 3 for 5 weeks now with over 228,000 copies sold.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's
5 weeks in. That's pretty good for Minecraft.
Yeah,
being already a game you could get on another Microsoft type,
right. And for being an indie game too.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. But I'm even though it's on the 360, I'm happy it's doing well. I like what that game does. Maybe it could influence other games to do the same type of idea. And maybe Minecraft 2 will be a little bit more motivated to go forward, and maybe a few years because of the success, even after as long as it's been on.
Yeah, and there's many different add-ons and things like that you can get for the PC with like Minecraft server, things like that.
You can even get on the Mac too.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, what is this one? I mean, okay. I'm thinking about not doing handsets, but I think you have to give them their due. But give me number 2.
Number 2, I actually have not played the 3DS myself. So I'm not too familiar with a lot of the games on it. But at number 2, we have Animal Crossing New Leaf. It's been sitting at number 2 for 4 weeks now with over close to 6,000 copies, or 600,000 copies sold. So, I mean, with it being at number 2, it's something I'd be interested in trying out just to check it out.
Yeah, right. It could have been the check it out. I don't know anything about this game, but just looking at some of the brief description, Animal Crossing New Life is a life simulation game. So maybe like a Sims game that's interactive with, I guess, animals. In New Leaf, players control the mayor of an animal village and contains many new features. So it looks like Animal Crossing New Leaf is an expansion or a sequel, or for that matter, I guess. But without further delay, what is number 1?
All right, can we get a drum roll on this one, please?
I don't want to do it on the mic, but can you hear that?
No, I can't.
Hopefully you can.
All right, that's
Hopefully.
good enough. Good enough.
Okay.
All right, at number 1, sitting at that spot for 4 weeks with almost 900,000 copies sold.
4 weeks. Damn.
Yeah.
900,000.
And this game hasn't been out for very long. We have The Last of Us for PlayStation 3.
Great game. Played it personally. Amazing story. Amazing gameplay. AI is a little weird at times. Just, so good.
I mean, this was a game that I wanted to play it so badly. I wanted to go out and buy a PS3 solely just to play this game. Unfortunately, I don't have the money to do that, so it didn't happen. But everybody I've talked to that has played this game said they absolutely love it. It's hard. It's hard to put the controller down once you start playing.
Yeah, and it's interesting too because it had a lot of hype going into it, and it lived to it. I feel. I mean, if I dare say it, it's the game of the year. But then in September, I think the game of the year will really come out in GTA 5.
Right. But
that will be game of the year. But right now, this is a great game. If you have never heard of it, if you're thinking about playing it and you have a PS3, you have to go get it. You have to do it. Why are you listening to me? Turn this off. Get your car. Go buy it.
Yes. If you have the money.
Go buy it.
If not, go pour yourself out and get the money. I mean,
what? Or you could just order it off GameFly. Right?
There you go.
There we go. Yeah, you got the last plug-in.
Or maybe, at your local grocery store or pharmacy, they have the Redbox places that you can go to rent games.
There are other ways. You're right. There are other ways. Let's go into some news here. Just updates. Like I said, we have been gone for a while, but we are back. Don't worry. We have new plans. Not just for the Lost Controller, but for many other different topics. So look for that. But just when it comes to the Lost Controller, I'm finally going to finish the indie series of 39 Steps. If you've not heard about it, watched it, go play the game. Go watch it. Watch my Let's Play on YouTube on the Dick Voice channel. And as well as John, I believe that you may be doing a project soon.
Yeah, I don't want to put out any spoilers just yet, but
okay, fair enough. Because I really don't. I just know the general idea. I don't know what you're going to be putting out there, so I'm gonna keep me in the dark as much as you can, John.
Dan, hello, wrong person.
Yeah, right. Well, I got something with Dan too, so I got so much going on.
But yeah, it'll definitely be something to help the Lost Controller move forward, rather than just being straight up talks and discussions, like more live commentary.
Cool.
So I will leave it at that.
Cool. Well, I look forward to that. Hopefully, we get that going soon. I know it's been short and sweet, but I want to keep it that way from now on, to be honest. Hopefully, we'll have Adam here as well from time to time. I do still want him to be on this. and he's still interested. His hands are so tied right now, it's ridiculous. And I know we have something else coming with Chris. Hopefully we can figure out the logistics on how to record all that stuff. I really don't know.
Yeah, we're all
I still have to
new
talk
this,
to him.
But
Yeah, but it's the fun part, right?
Yeah.
It's
Figure it out as
fucking
you
up.
go.
The fun part is fucking up. And people hearing and seeing you fuck up.
Right.
'Cause that's why they listen. Oh, man. All right, well, until next time, guys, hopefully we'll talk to you guys next week, and there'll be some more news coming out. And I think we'll hit that. I think we'll hit that save. John, will you go ahead and hit that save button for me?
Yeah, sure.
It's I think it's F6. I can't remember. F5, F6. It's so different. We'll hit that save button. And guys, thank you for listening. Please don't be afraid to comment on the blog. Send us any information. You can always, don't forget to go to the blog at dickvoice.blogspot.com. We do have a channel on YouTube at dickvoice. And we're also on Twitter and Facebook, so don't be afraid to comment and send us anything you want. I'm Mike.
And I'm John.
And we'll catch you next time.
Stay classy.